Welcome to Salisbury University on the Air, a program highlighting the activities and the people of the campus. I'm your host, Susan Purnell. Salisbury University sends its graduates into the workforce prepared to make their mark. But did you know that the process through which the students are taught also benefits the greater Salisbury community and beyond? Today, we focus on SU's Franklin P. Perdue School of Business and how its students benefit the community. Joining us is Dr. Christy Weir, Dean of the Perdue School. So welcome, Christy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. You look so wonderful. Just back from Vegas.
Indeed.
That's great. That's great. Celebrating a big birthday is what I hear.
Yes. We don't need to go into detail about that big birthday.
Well, I got you by 2 decades if you feel any better.
You look fantastic. So.
Well, thank you. But anyway, I would like to be celebrating your birthday, as a matter of fact. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Perdue School that you're the dean of.
Yes.
And I want you to give us a little history about the school and its relationship to the Perdue family.
Sure. So, as you probably know, Frank Perdue attended Salisbury University in the 40s. Perdue is headquartered in Salisbury. I think Frank Perdue saw a great opportunity to link the community more with Salisbury University. Saw an opportunity with the business school and our graduates and decided to make that investment into the university and the Perdue School of Business. So great, very, it's an incredible relationship.
And you have a museum right there.
Yes.
In the school.
Yes.
That celebrates the history of the Perdues. Is that right?
Yes, it's an incredible opportunity for folks to go in and see the journey of the Perdue family and Perdue Farms. It really takes you back to when Frank and his father Arthur started collecting and selling eggs to where we are today, and the incredible organization that it is today with the organic products and everything that they do. So it's just a fantastic opportunity to learn about Perdue Farms and the Perdue family.
Progressed with the times, haven't they? I love the fact that they're doing the organic chicken now.
Absolutely, a pioneer in that industry.
Yeah,
absolutely,
they really are. Now, the Eastern Shore and even areas beyond is very fortunate to have another organization that's within your school, Beacon.
Yes.
Which stands for the Business, Economic, and Community Outreach Network.
Yes.
Tell us how it helps the community.
Sure. So it really is a network for the community and a resource for the community. And folks that are in business or looking to go into business, they do forecasting, they do situational analysis, they do strategic planning. Really, it's a resource for our community to lean on to get those strategic initiatives completed.
So if I'm a company and I want to do some research, I would just contact Beacon
absolutely.
and pay for their services.
And work with Memo and Sarah and their team of students. They have graduate assistants who work in Beacon. They have undergraduate students that work in Beacon, and they get real-world experience. They get hands-on experience working with organizations, and really it helps lend to what they're going to do after they graduate.
Now, I said earlier in introducing you that SU does a really great job in preparing its students for the workforce. How does the Perdue School's ABLE project lend a hand in that?
Sure. ABLE stands for Applied Business Learning Experience. All of Perdue graduates have to have this type of experience, and most students complete an internship out in the community or in their hometown, and it's a minimum of 10 weeks, 10 hours per week, so 100 hours total, working in an organization in the field in which they're studying. So a management student would have to have an internship in the management field, accounting would have to have one in the accounting field. Really gives students hands-on experience, and it's a great opportunity. Students have a 10-week interview in that particular organization, in that industry, to learn if it's for them. Similarly, the organization has a 10-week interview of that student to see if that student may be a good fit for their organization, is a hard worker, ready to dig in. So it's really beneficial.
So imagine that actual placements into these companies occur
Absolutely.
as a result of this. Can you give me some examples of that?
Sure. A number of our students transition right from the internship right into full-time employment. Typically, students complete their internships the summer after their junior year, sometimes in their senior year, and so they're really primed for full-time positions. A number of our accountants, and I could give you a host of examples, but there are a number that the ABLE internships lead to full-time positions.
It's sort of like student teaching when I was in school.
Absolutely.
I had the whole semester doing what I wanted to do.
Absolutely.
And then was offered a job
Yes.
in that same school
Very
as a
similar.
result. So It's a great opportunity.
It's great for both the organization and for the student. Absolutely.
That's great. Now, not only do you prepare students for employment, but you also encourage a sort of entrepreneurship. People who don't necessarily want to go work for a company, but want to have their own company.
Right.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
And I know you have student entrepreneurship competitions. Tell us a little bit about those.
So we have it's called the Student Entrepreneurship Competitions. It started through funding from Richard Bernstein, a local entrepreneur, and over about 35 years ago, I would say. And over time, that competition has progressed into a day-long competition where we have typically about 50 teams of students who make pitches to area judges. So our sponsorship and our funding comes from local organizations and regional organizations. So students, their ticket to entry is a business plan. So we have a team of faculty and staff that help students develop and prepare business plans. They really just need an idea, and we can help for them from there. So it starts with a poster pitch. So students will line up in Perdue Hall, on the first floor of Perdue Hall, and they will, for the first couple hours of the morning, they'll pitch to a group of about 30 judges. And these judges will invest in the ideas that they see the most worthy. And when I say invest, we've created an app with fictitious funding. So they invest funding in these businesses.
It's like Shark Tanky.
It's very much like Shark Tanky.
Okay.
So the top 15 that have received the most funding will move on to the Gull Cage round, sort of like Shark Tank, Gull Cage. And so those top 15 do a 1-minute pitch followed by 6 minutes of questions and answers from another set of judges, 6 or 7 judges. Different set of judges. Then the top 4 from the Gull Cage move on to the Bernstein round. And so those top 4 give a 20-minute pitch followed by questions and answers to another set of judges. So we've got 40 to 50 judges on campus in Perdue Hall each year supporting our students. The prize pool tends to be about $100,000 in cash and in-kind gifts, all donated from our community and from the businesses. And in addition to the funding, the money, it's an opportunity for students to get paired with mentors. So the judges then become mentors to students to help them launch their businesses.
So these are local business people who are the judges.
Yes, absolutely. So they if they see a business that they may think is viable, that they have an interest in or an experience in, they'll work with those students to help that business come to fruition.
Can you think of one that's been particularly successful?
Sure. For example, we have Tia's Clutch. She is now located in the the Rommel Downtown Center for Entrepreneurship. So if anyone wants to talk with Tia, she's down there with her bags. It's a prime example. She was involved in both the student competition and the Shore Hatchery competition. So quite a success story.
Oh, that's great. So you talked about the Radcliff Shore Hatchery.
Yes.
How is that different?
So the Radcliff Shore Hatchery competition is for students as well as any aspiring entrepreneur in the Mid-Atlantic region of the United States.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to come.
You don't have to be a student. No.
A student anywhere?
No.
You could just be me.
Yep. It could be any entrepreneur in the Mid-Atlantic region. We were able to hold this competition due to the generosity of the Radcliff Foundation. So far we have awarded $1.5 million as a result of the funding. Incredible. We're on our second $1 million installment, and so we've got 2 more years, and hopefully we'll be able to move in the future, continue this competition in the future. But from that $1.5 million that's been awarded, organizations have generated approximately $55 million in revenue and have created 406 jobs through this $1.2 million.
That's a hatchery. I love the name. That's great because that's exactly what you're doing is hatching these ideas and these businesses that.
Yes. It's incredible.
The generosity, successful.
Yes, the generosity of the Radcliffs has just been incredible, and how beneficial.
Is that a national foundation?
No, it's a foundation focused on entrepreneurs from a local entrepreneur, Philip and Carol Radcliff.
Oh, I didn't realize they were local.
Yeah, from the Western Shore. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Wow. Let's talk a little bit about MASME, which I believe is the Mid-Atlantic Sales and Marketing Institute. At least that's what my notes tell me.
Yes.
Another great way for students to get a taste of how businesses operate outside of SU.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that program.
Sure. MASME is a professional sales program launched about 6 years ago and has been incredibly successful. Students compete twice a year internally in the school. Our sales students, we have about 120 to 150 students participate, and they too are competing in a sales competition with local judges. Again, this is another opportunity that our students get to work with business professionals from our community. And so it's twice a year. They do everything from elevator pitch competitions to buying and selling products to a buyer on the other side. And then this year we hosted our first national sales competition. We had to do it virtually because of COVID. Next year we plan to be face-to-face, but we had students from 44 institutions, 42 colleges and universities in the United States, one in India and one in Canada. So the top 2 sales students from all of those schools were virtual, but competed for the national Shore Sales Championship just a couple of weeks ago. It went off beautifully.
What do they win?
They win bragging rights and they also win cash. And our competition is supported by a number of organizations. Perdue Farms is the lead sponsor of that competition, as well as Chop Tank Transport and a number of other organizations. So
what would we do without Perdue?
And again, what would we do without so many organizations in our
true.
community that support our school and our students?
So they have these sales competitions. I'm trying to understand. You say they partner with outside businesses. How does that work?
The sales students? So they go through the day, much like the entrepreneurship competitions, they go through the day in multiple rounds of competition. So we might start with 120 or 150 competitors, and at the end of the day, we're down to 5. And so they go through round after round after round, selling their product, whatever the product is in their particular team or their room, to a buyer.
Pick a product?
Well, the products are pre-assigned.
Oh, I see.
Yes, so they're pre-assigned. They're given a little background information about the organization and the product that they're selling, and then they're selling it. They're pitching it to a buyer who is someone from our community or our region that is involved in the MASME program.
You know, it's really hard to teach a person to sell.
It is.
It really is. And having those practical experiences like that, I think, are invaluable.
It is, absolutely. And we've got a fantastic core group of sales faculty with sales experience. They do role plays. Our students do well. We had an MBA student win a sales competition, out at one of the national sales competitions. So our students are doing well.
That's fantastic. Now, you talked a little bit about the Rommel Center for Entrepreneurship that's now in downtown Salisbury. I went to school with David Rommel and Patsy, and they're phenomenal people, and I'm so happy that they've invested in this. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Well, the generosity of Dave and Patsy is incredible, and what that funding has done for the Perdue School in terms of entrepreneurship and the connection to the community is unbelievable. We plan to open the center in the fall. We had hoped to have it open this past fall, but due to COVID, and the restrictions, we just weren't able to. But we expect it to launch in the fall. And in fact, anyone can go do a tour of the Rommel Downtown Center for Entrepreneurship now. Just make an appointment or check in with Bill Burke and his team. But it's an incredible space. It's very welcoming. It provides multiple garages with literal garage doors that open for area entrepreneurs. And our goal is that our winners of the Shore Hatchery will have opportunities to move into that space to incubate, to work with the downtown businesses, to work with the Salisbury area folks that are the ecosystem partners, and that we can take those ideas and launch them out into the community. But it's really an incredible space. I encourage anyone to go down and look at that.
Yes, I've been there, and it really is. So anyone can. Do you rent the space or?
No, we are not renting the space. It will be for the winners of our student entrepreneurship competition and the Shore Hatchery to move into.
So that's a great prize.
It is a great prize.
To get a place like that
Sure.
you can move into and not have to pay rent.
Right, absolutely. So that's our initial plan for that space.
Step up for them, yeah. one of the ways in which the Perdue School connects also with local businesses is through the Maryland Small Business Development Center. And I understand the Eastern region is actually located right there in your school.
Absolutely. Well, it's located on the East Campus of Salisbury University, but certainly part of the Perdue School of Business, or we see it as part of the Perdue School of Business. And they, as you mentioned, work to help develop small businesses. They also provide great opportunities for our students to get hands-on experience. John and his team work with our students for small business consulting projects. They get hands-on knowledge. It's just a fantastic partnership.
That's great. I love the fact that there's this great synergy now between, and there wasn't always, Christy. This is really amazing how it has grown, the collaboration and the synergy between our community and SU, because so many people benefit when you share that way.
Absolutely. I mean, we couldn't do what we do without the support of our community, and we hope when we graduate students, those students stay and become a part of our community. You know, it's so important, the synergies and the connection. It's critical to what we do and how successful we are in the Perdue School.
Yeah, that's an important goal, I think, to kind of keep some of these students here.
Absolutely.
You've taught them everything that they need to know, and you want them to use that information to help better our community.
Absolutely,
so it looks like you're doing everything you can to do that.
We're trying. We see experiential learning and getting students out into the community, out into businesses, and then bringing the businesses into the school as key to success for us.
I think it's great, and it's amazing. I don't know how you keep your head straight with all of these different activities, competitions, and
it's a lot of fun.
Programs going on at the same time, but lots of balls in the air. But
it's a lot of fun. In fact, this week we have our shore hatchery competition, our student entrepreneurship competition, and our MASME competition. So,
oh my goodness,
what a fun week for us!
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
And sharing this during such an important week for you.
Oh.
And we're lucky to have you, Christy.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. SU has great connections with the community, and recently the university experienced the generosity of its friends, alumni, and others through SU's annual Giving Day. More than $170,000 was raised for SU students and its programs. Let's take a look.
Thank you for giving.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for giving.
Thank you so much for giving.
Thank you for giving.
Thank you for giving.
I appreciate your donation to Salisbury University.
Thank you for giving today.
Salisbury University staff, thank you for giving on Giving Day.
Thank you for giving today.
Thank you for giving today. Thank you for giving on SU Giving Day.
Thank you. We're so grateful for you matching our donations. Thank you.
As the academic year winds down, SU is still holding virtual cultural and educational events open to the public. Let's take a look at what's happening in May. It's great to learn how SU not only provides students with a great education, but uses its resources to serve the greater community as well. I'd like to thank my guest, Dr. Christy Weir, Dean of the Perdue School of Business. I'm Susan Purnell, and this has been Salisbury University on the Air. Thank you for watching.